Welcome to this presentation on securing card payments in call centres whilst improving customer experience. And let's set the scene with this man who's on the phone with an agent and who wants to pay over the phone. Payment card industry data security standards and also the new GDPR legislation now put pressure on merchants to protect such customers' data when they do so. And indeed, customers are much more worried about the theft of their personal ID and card data due to the publicity and their own personal experience of recent data breaches such as British Airways, TalkTalk, Marriott, to name but a few. And the advice nowadays from QSAs and industry experts is if you don't need the data, then simply don't keep it. At Syntec, we conduct a regular consumer tracking survey into attitudes towards payments, and we recently asked them which payment methods they found most secure. And as you can see at the bottom right here, making telephone payments to a call centre is pretty much at the bottom, whereas on the left-hand side of the chart, paying by chip and PIN or EMV to a retailer, or second from the left, payments over the internet on a website, are much more preferable to consumers. The problem, quite simply, is that only 5% of consumers think that making a payment over the phone to a call centre agent is in fact secure. And 79% say, I don't think that companies should be allowed to keep my credit or debit card details on their databases. We even asked IT managers and operations managers in contact centres what they thought, and 62% of them said that they too are reluctant to make payments over the phone in their personal lives, which really does underline what a big problem it is. Further statistics of note from our recent survey are that the majority of consumers do still read their card numbers out when paying by phone. So that's still the majority of transactions in call centres and contact centres, the customer having to read their card numbers out aloud to an agent. And 59% say that the risk of call centre fraud puts them off paying by phone. So that's a barrier to making transactions. And 80% say that they'd rather not give their card details to a call centre agent at all. So there's real friction in terms of getting people to pay to call centres and contact centres. And the number of consumers who say there have been times when they've not bought something due to this concern has increased from 44% in 2016 to 63% now. And only 8% of consumers agree that organisations they buy from will keep their personal and card details secure, which is down from 13% in 2016. And in conclusion, when asked how call centre managers should best ensure the security of payment card details, consumers and experts select DTMF masking as the most popular option. And I'll come back to DTMF masking in a moment. But before I do, let's stop for a moment to look at the latest guidance on protecting telephone payment card data from the Payment Card Industry Security Standards Council. And this was a major update because the previous guidelines had not been updated for over a decade. And in these guidelines, there's a change of emphasis from securing just recorded payment card data to securing the spoken card data as well. And they outline 4 options for securing telephone payments. The first of which is not to take payments over the phone at all, but of course that's what most call and contact centres want to be able to do. The second is to apply all of the applicable requirements and controls to all of your card data environment, and that's 12 headline requirements with over 300 controls underneath those 12 requirements. So that's a huge number of controls to monitor and to be audited against, or to do a self-assessment questionnaire. The third method is to reduce the card data environment, for instance by using partial solutions such as network segmentation or pause and resume for your call recordings, to take call recordings out of scope and then to apply the requirements and controls of PCI DSS to a reduced card data environment. But the fourth and new technological recommendation is to eliminate the card data environment altogether. And they summarize this as follows. For organizations committed to taking payments over the telephone, consideration should be given to techniques that minimize exposure of the PAN and the SAD, that's the long card number and the short security number, to the telephone environment, and balance that with user experience requirements with the object of significantly reducing the CDE or eliminating the CDE altogether. And the answer, both for consumers and for the PCI DSS guidance, is the same. DTMF, or dual tone multi-frequency, touch tone entry of the card numbers by the customer themselves. So as shown in the graphics here, starting with the man we saw at the beginning, on the phone to the agent wanting to pay by phone, the agent in graphic number 2 asks the customer to enter their card details using their telephone keypad. And then in graphic number 3, here's the customer entering his or her card numbers using the touchtone keypad of their own telephone, both the long card number, the PAN, and the short security number, the CV2. And the tones are suppressed or masked, so the full numbers are neither audible nor visible to the agent or to screen or call recordings. And that's why this type of system is called DTMF masking or DTMF suppression payment. And in this way, the sensitive data bypasses the call center altogether, and so is no longer available to be stored or compromised. And our CardEasy system, that's a patented system to Syntec, works in exactly this way. So this is how you can descope your contact center environment from PCI DSS, because it removes your environment from the PCI DSS regulations and controls, and it will help you with GDPR compliance too, because if you haven't got that data, then it can't be compromised. And this in turn will make your business more secure and trusted. So looking at the graphics at the bottom there, continuing the story, this shows in number 4 the display that the agent will see the progress of the numbers being entered by the customer, with importantly the middle 6 digits typically asterisked out. The agent has this real-time display during the PAN and CV2 capture, and the conversation is carrying on between the agent and the customer all the while. But importantly, during the entry of those middle 6 digits and also the short security number, the 3 digits, the voice path between the customer and the agent is muted, so that if the customer does happen to read out their card numbers at the same time as entering them on their keypad, those numbers can't bleed through to your call center environment and your call recordings. And this is a unique feature of CardEasy, which makes it even more secure. And then in number 5, the card data is sent via CardEasy directly to the payment services provider for processing. And then in number 6, the agent is shown the transaction result in real time. Works with all payment service providers and is already integrated with the main ones, as you can see, as well as all of the main contact center systems that you can see here. CardEasy is also very flexible to deploy. It can either be fully hosted if you use Syntec's telephony, but in most cases merchants want to be telephony agnostic. They don't want to have to change their telephony. So CardEasy can be either partially on-premise using customer premise equipment, or it can be fully cloud-based in order to be easy to deploy in your environment without having to make changes to your existing systems. And as I've mentioned before, it works with any payment services providers and any back office CRM systems. It comes in two options: mid-call with the agent, as I've already shown in the graphics earlier on, and it also works with your IVR for customer self-service 24/7, 365. And all CardEasy deployments are covered by Syntec's PCI DSS Level 1 accreditation, because CardEasy is the service provider, and that gives you the reassurance you need to be PCI DSS compliant yourselves. And CardEasy will also reduce average call handling times in your call centre by removing the process of the agent taking down the card numbers from the customer and then having to input the card numbers themselves. So that's another benefit of CardEasy. Here in front of you are some of our customers, large merchants using CardEasy on a global basis, often with contact centres in different locations, even in different continents. And this has been happening since 2011, when we got our first PCI DSS Level 1 compliance attestation. And we have major customers that have built up over time. Many of the names here I'm sure you will recognise. So to summarise, CardEasy is easy to integrate. It has low upfront and low monthly managed service costs. It will support your call centre agents as well as your home workers and outsourcers too. It provides international and multi-site coverage. It reduces the cost and hassle of PCI DSS monitoring and audits. It improves customer and agent experience and trust, reduces average call handling times, and can help you avoid fines for data breaches and also any increases in merchant fees for not being compliant. It will provide you with brand protection and also help with GDPR compliance. And finally, there are also multi-channel options available on request, such as web chat and email and SMS options for payment in your contact centre. The survey results mentioned in this presentation are all in a white paper, which is available to download from our website, www.syntec.co.uk, also with industry advice from experts. There are also video demos and other information on the website, or you can contact us on the numbers shown here or at sales@cardeasy.com to get a demo or a free scoping workshop. So thank you very much for listening and have a good day.